In the last video, we saw how Javier Solana likely fulfills the prophecy of the little horn found in Daniel chapter 7. Javier Solana was supposed to represent the European Union to the rest of the world. The High Representative job was supposed to be like a foreign minister for the EU, or Secretary of State, but without as much power. However, a group of countries known as the EU3 initially opposed this plan. This group, composed of France, the UK, and Germany, wanted to dictate EU foreign policy on their own. They were even accused of a power grab by other EU countries when they tried to hold their own special meeting to decide the EU's future. The EU3 played a very big role in the negotiations over Iran's nuclear program. Initially, when meeting with the Iranians, they left Solana behind. Nevertheless, the smaller EU countries complained about this, and Javier Solana eventually became part of their group. He accompanied them as they all carried out their negotiations with Iran. As you can see on this picture, Javier Solana, on the far right, is standing next to the EU3 foreign ministers on the left. On 06/06/06, Javier Solana emerged before the world as leader of the group. Despite rarely being in the news, on this day he was seen across major news outlets. He was shown presenting a deal that the Iranians could potentially accept. A major German newspaper puts it quite accurately. During his time in office, Solana established himself as a key negotiator and speaker for the EU on the subject of Iran's nuclear capabilities. Does this qualify as a fulfillment of prophecy? If we look at Strong's Concordance, the literal meaning of put down is to be low. The short definition means that he humbled them. This can be backed up with other passages in the book of Daniel, which use the same word. For example, when Nebuchadnezzar's son, Belshazzar, was about to be conquered by the Medes and the Persians, he saw handwriting on the wall. When Daniel came to provide the interpretation, he recounted Nebuchadnezzar's powerful reign, saying, "Whom he would, he killed, and whom he would, he kept alive. Whom he would, he raised up, and whom he would, he humbled." Later in the same passage, Daniel criticizes Belshazzar, saying, "And you, his son Belshazzar, have not humbled your heart, though you knew all this, but you have lifted up yourself against the Lord of heaven." By use of this word in other contexts, we can see that it is a non-violent humbling of someone relative to someone else. It certainly does not imply someone is killed, nor does it necessarily have to mean that someone is deposed or fired. Regarding the little horn growing up, Pastor John MacArthur puts it this way: "But in the original text, it is not nearly so violent. It actually refers to a gradual replacement as the new pushes out the old, and the old gradually fades away. It is not a catastrophe, it is progressive." Solana gradually replaced the EU3 as the main speaker for the entire EU. This is very consistent with the description of the horns found in Daniel 7. One book on EU foreign policy summarizes his career quite well. Dr. Solana also became, together with the big three states of France, the United Kingdom, and Germany, a major mediator in Europe's relations with Iran since 2004. He presented the following three advantages. Internally to the EU, he represented all EU states, and not just the big three. This was a major issue for small states, which asked for the inclusion of the High Representative in the negotiations. In Iran itself, he was seen as a neutral actor, as opposed to a negative actor, such as the United States. As you can see with that last in-text citation, God once again drops us a little signpost, attaching the number 666 to a prophecy that Solana fulfills. So far, we have only talked about prophecies from the book of Daniel. In the next video, we will talk about how Solana may have fulfilled a prophecy from the book of Revelation as well.